Here goes.
Mute.
Go your own way, stones and shadows bite, willows whisper of darkness deep and wide. In the forest there is no place to hide. Strange paths. Tonight I fear that I will not survive the dying of the light.
This is The Dying of the Light, a series from the Starfall Collective. The Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating stories in a fictional world we've been developing together. You can find out more about the collective as well as the stories we're telling at thestarfallcollective.com. In our last episode,
There was nothing rich nor compelling.
the main action of the past several episodes have been promising, almost started to happen.
And we worked really hard for that.
That's not a criticism. Description. In particular, we had several main elements. First, they did a set of experiments. All of the party did a set of experiments to determine exactly what was causing maybe the magic not to work.
And we
Um,
concluded nothing.
Say it again?
And we concluded nothing.
Maybe. There might have been some conclusions. Dwight, your audio is pretty muddy. Do you have any way of like cleaning up a little or anything? If not, that's okay. Just checking.
Not really.
Okay. There were a couple of things they found. First, that it seemed that no magic was available to them to use when Sevek was around. No surprise. No magic was available to them to use when Zevek was gone, but Yoshka, Neno, and Talid were around. They still couldn't use magic. But when all three of them left, they were able to use magic, except in their compound for some reason, and kind of a radius around a radius of the compound, and in the direction that the water flows, they were not able to use any magic for a strip. That region encompasses the compound itself, but also the teleportation circle in the town. Related to this discovery, they had to make some decisions. I'm not going to go too far, let y'all work this out, but I'm just going to remind where we were. They had to make some decisions about what to do with the elderly or infirm children and the able-bodied and capable, mostly women and some men who were tending to those, to the elderly, infirm, and children. Towards the end, Talid volunteered possibly taking that group of people to the cave of the Oravan, his homeland, as it were, with the intent of maybe a reckoning for things in the past, but also if you were able to get them there safely, it could be a safe place to stay. And I will note, excuse me, that the able-bodied women and some men that are in that group that are taking care of them, numbers in the ballpark of about 65 or 70. That is about half of the population of the Oravan when you were last there. The Oravan have 100 and something people there, maybe 100 or 200 people. So I'll let y'all work out those details. And you did not commit to that. You in the last episode on that path or anything. It just came up right at the end. And also, Talid, you know that the Oravan have a teleportation circle there that at the time you didn't know. When you were there, you didn't know. You know, it had no meaning to you because it was just a circle.
Yeah.
Okay, the rest of you, the dragon has had some meeting with the set of you and also had one ear towards the palanquin of Arasanala. And so we pick up where we left off. It is evening, so it's, late afternoon of this third day that you were going to leave. If all things go as they seem to have, as you are expecting, this would have been 3 days. This morning would have been 3 days from when the Iron Bell would arrive. And so, if you were to leave in the morning, just to give you a sense of timing, that would give you a 2-day gap. You think they were 6 days away from you. Now you were going to leave when they're halfway. Another little more. They would be a little more than halfway. It's late afternoon. If you were to go now, you would be traveling at night with on Talid's side, the sick, the infirm, and whatever, and on the other side, 150-ish townsmen, 151, I think it was, townsmen, and you all, and Rasanala at night with no magic, maybe. So the stage is set. Go.
I mean, we're going to
Okay,
be traveling
well-
at night anyway.
Well, why don't we spend the night here and leave first thing and all go to the Oravan together? It's on the way.
I would say that it would be more tactful to go at night. For when we went with Sebek through the mists, we all can agree it is exceptionally dangerous. But because we didn't have magic in there, or at least I think because we didn't have magic in there, basically no one even tried. The only exceptions being the ogre and the barbarian back there.
So let me just point out real quickly. The Oravan is across the river. It's about a 36-hour trek southeast. So they're kind of southeast. So you would be from where you are, you would go towards Sarakon and then south to the Oravan was how you got to where you are. To go to the headwaters is almost.
It's not on
I'm not
the
saying.
way.
Trying to give a. What'd you say, Dwight?
It's not on the way.
It's not on the way. It's not out of the way. I mean, it's not like the opposite direction or anything, but it's off your path.
Okay.
It does seem like our experience of travel is much different than it was pre-Zedek. I'm less scared about him leading a bunch of people who are going to need extra help.
So we were trying to catch the great city while the army is out. And it will take them 6 days to get here, we think?
2 more days.
It could be tomorrow they arrive. We don't know. 6 days
Okay.
is
Isn't
a fair guess.
Isn't it pretty questionable and or dangerous for us to divert and attack someone somewhere else when there's a possibility that someone could escape and use magic to send word that that's where we are?
There's only one way in and out of the Oravan, and if Diamondback would be willing to lend some of his inner circle,
Acolytes.
lend some of his acolytes into my party of purgers per se, then we will make sure no one survives.
Well, we have seen them use teleportation magic before. Granted, it was a
Hopefully.
dimension door, but we've seen it.
Sorry, and let me point out one thing just to give you all a sense, one more distance sense that you would have an idea of. The people of Saracon told you to their best understanding, though they have not been there, it's 1 day travel from here to Saracon, and then about a day and a half travel, a day and a half, 2 days, somewhere right around there, to the first part, to encountering the headwaters. So you're guessing 2 to 3 day trip to the headwaters from here, right? For y'all traveling.
Okay. Well,
At this point, we should just wait here for the army that's coming and defeat them. Try again next cycle.
Sorry, you said wait here for the army to come and then defeat them, and then what?
Just try again next cycle.
Is that Belvari saying that, or is that Dwight saying that?
Who's Dwight?
Right.
The whole point is not to fight their army. The point is to destroy their city while the army is not there.
well, why don't we go tonight then? We can let the people go where they would. Perhaps I think my Menowin might want to come with you, Khaled.
Reason for vengeance.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Khaled says they're very much welcome to come with me to the Oravan.
And well,
And should they use the teleportation circle, maybe whatever unmagic is keeping us from using it may be able to affect theirs as well.
whoever's goes with Zevik could travel into the night with torches, but he should not go with you. So would you leave now or in the morning?
I think it would be best to leave. I'm not actually sure. The question is non-debatable about whether I should leave. I'm assuming that's the thing, but I'm not sure when to leave. That's, I think.
Toll, where are you thinking of going? Are you thinking of going to the head with the citizenry?
I think I said I was going to go with
Strategic-minded.
Diamondback.
Okay.
Well, if you leave in firm, we don't know what we will find in the jungle, and you have the best chance of saving lives if you spend less nights, I think.
You would have, if y'all all went from here to Saracon, which cannot nearly hold the amount of people y'all have, right? It was previously housing 14 people. But if y'all went from here to Saracon, that would be where your paths would diverge, and it would be a half day to, half day to cross the river and get to Oravan, and then a day or two to get to the headwaters from there. I'm telling you these geographical things not to tell you a preference. Just it's stuff your people would know.
Yeah.
No, we get the hint. There's treasure and monsters in Saracon. Let's go.
Yes, let's set out together and go as far as we can. We can travel in with Zevik around.
It's a wise plan. I say we go for it.
And all of your people will need a good night's rest if they're going to be walking all next day.
Of course.
So we don't want to walk all night.
I suppose Yoshka would go and submit that our plans to the leaders of the different tribes and say, we're thinking to go to Saragon all together because with Zevek, we can have torches at night and they will illuminate the darkness.
Let's be sure and leave something of Zevek's behind near the teleportation circle because we don't want it to suddenly get active when we're gone. We don't want the army to get here, realize that we're not here, and zip home, beating us
Good
there.
idea. Yeah.
Are you using persuasion?
No, I'm just telling them what our thought is, and I'm open to them voicing feedback and concerns.
Okay. I'm going to find out what they respond.
Okay.
All right. You get a nay. Like one guy is concerned about leaving tomorrow instead of tonight. Concerned with the Iron Bell coming.
Who wants to leave tomorrow?
He would rather leave tonight. Just
Oh, that's
We're
what I
planning-
was
that's
suggesting.
planned
Yeah.
leave tonight. I'm sorry. I thought you said stay the night. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case,
We would stay the night like out in the woods together on the way to Saracon.
okay. You just try to make it there. Yeah. If you were to march all night, which everybody's been awake now for most of the day, but if you were to march all night, you'd get there around dawn. It's 12-ish hours. And
Okay. So could you clarify the rules you're currently using for fatigue? Because I think maybe they recently changed.
no, y'all can do that fine.
Okay. So
You
more
will be
recently-
quite tired. I mean, you will need to sleep soon.
Okay. More recently, I remember people were rolling like fatigue checks for being up more than 4 hours, like past their usual bedtime.
Y'all were at that point, y'all were at 36 hours, and then you started going to 40 hours. That's when I had you start rolling. In the city, in the dark place.
Yeah, there's nowhere for all of these people to sleep at Saracon. It doesn't seem smart for us to leave now.
Well, we'll all sleep. We'll have the weak ones, like a herd of walruses, just the pups inside and the
so
big tusked ones on the
Just so
outside.
y'all understand, we don't know when the army is coming from the headwaters. We could sleep right now behind some walls and then possibly leave in the morning, or we could walk towards the army coming from the headwaters, and they might show up in the middle of the night while we're sleeping in the woods.
Belvari, I've never heard you talk so much. Good for you. And Yoshka gives him a hearty slap on the shoulder.
He's not standing close enough for you to do that.
An excellent tactical point, Belvari. We should consider it. Can we be sure to travel out of the way of the likely path that the army would take were they to be coming the other direction?
Why don't we head to Saracon and the dragon can scout out ahead?
That's also a good idea.
Speaking of
Excellent.
scouting, Sir
Either
Robert,
way, you're talking about sleeping just out in the woods in the middle of the day while the army's appearing. So the dragon sees they're coming. What do? We sleep for a little while they keep coming? It
I
just
thought we
doesn't make
could-
sense.
I thought tonight we could travel either hours into the darkness, which would give us either 8 or 4 hours of sleep. If we have 4 hours of sleep, like nobody suffers fatigue, right? So if we just travel 8 hours in the first and second shift into the night, and then everybody sleeps 4 hours, and we leave at dawn. That would be 3 shifts in the middle of the night with, I imagined there's 250, 300 people. If we camp pretty closely together, we would have 15, 20 people on the outside, kind of walk in a circle around them on watch. Of course, we would be among those people.
Yeah.
What's gained by leaving now instead of in the morning? 4 hours of
8 hours of travel?
being
Well,
in there?
12 hours maybe? If it's like, how many hours till sunset?
So,
2, 3, 4.
Belvari, the greatest tactical advantage is not being here. Here is where the enemy is coming. So if we
Yeah,
leave,
but we're just walking around where they're coming from. Last time they came,
So the world is not like a single highway that we can deviate from. We've got 360 degrees to use to avoid them.
I will also tell you that you would all know this. I'm just reminding you of things you might not have thought of in a while. Your characters would all know this. The surest way you know to get to the headwaters is a river. Those rivers go from the headwaters out, right? If you're just walking around on the land, you're going to be pretty confident of a good direction, but nobody's ever been there. I'm not arguing for this. I'm just trying to tell you this. The river is between here and the Oravan if you go directly there. Belvari is right that the direction from which the Iron Bell army is coming is through the Saracon region, roughly. That's where he went scouting before. I'm not saying like right over the city necessarily, but that's the general direction to the headwaters and the direction from which they came last time. Northward, y'all don't know what's north. Like y'all haven't gone up that way. So if you were to curve around north and then east, you'd be skirting the probable direction of the Iron Bell to the north, but you don't know it's there. And if you go southward and try to skirt them, you'll go towards the river between Garatone and Simdaron, which puts you halfway between Saracon and the Oravan. Or not halfway, much of the way towards the Oravan. Again, just trying to give you geography sense.
Yeah.
So I think that if we curve around south and then towards the east, then we would be able to split off at the best time to reach the Oravan and be able to circumvent the army, if I'm thinking about this correctly.
That seems factually accurate.
So
Can,
the Iron Bell don't like to cross the river, right?
I don't think so.
So the only army we're anticipating having to fight is the army that is willing to be in Garatone's territory.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking maybe we want to cross the river and get out of the way of the army that's coming, but then we'll be in the way of the army that is everywhere. Or we'll be in the way of just random bells. But we could handle any like small troop of 10 or 12 Simdaron that are just meandering around.
I guess beasts would be more of a problem than Simdaron. Than
That's what I was thinking. Like, I think that we should stick with a bell kind of curve, because that way we'll only have to deal with the beasts when we actually like have to avoid Simdaron. Like if we have the dragon patrolling in like a circle around us, and if it sees the bell, then we can head just straight due south and cross the river, and then deal with whatever we have to, and then we'll know where the bell is and make more appropriate guesses at that time. But
The dragon chimes in.
Scouting from above will do no good. I cannot see through the canopy.
okay. Yeah.
And I'm just going to remind y'all, because one of you would have the thoughts. You know that closer to the Iron Bell, there are fewer animals and undead and stuff. They keep that clean for their troops. the danger of more beasts and undead and stuff are further out.
I have a question for the dungeon master.
Do it.
Diamondback or Matthew was assuming that in order to get such a large army to attack us for the last attack, that the Iron Bell were pulling forces from the other regions.
At least the adjacent ones.
Here's the
Does that
information.
If it's the case that what we just fought was a half of a sixth of, or however many regions there are. There are 6 regions, right? 8?
6 that you
I don't
know of,
remember.
yeah.
6. Yeah, so if we were fighting like best case scenario, a half of a sixth, and we're going to the headwaters where there will be the full forces minus a half of a sixth, then this is just a bad plan.
You were attacked previously by roughly even mix of undead and beasts.
Okay.
Your intuition, all of your intuition, who were there? These 3 weren't there, so they, they're not there.
I lost you.
So Robert is currently frozen in the get on out of here pose. Oh, there you are.
Sorry, we
No.
lost you, Sir Robert. Can you repeat? Oh, no, he's still frozen.
And you moved for a sec, but you're still frozen.
Not sending video.
Hey, we hear you.
We heard you say not sending video anymore.
Okay. Testing 1.
1, 2, and then you went square on 3, but we heard it.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
Are you there, Sir Robert?
Yes, I.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna count. 1, 2.
Yeah, we heard. I'm going to count, and then a little later, 1, 2, and nothing since.
Probably just playing with us.
Elon Musk. Save us, Elon Musk. We need your Starlink satellite.
Need Oprah Winfrey.
How is Oprah Winfrey going to help us with our data packet loss?
Test.
We all get packets.
Test, 1,
packets
2.
for
You
you.
get a packet.
By my computer.
So Robert, we heard test S1 2.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Maybe we could switch this to one of those D&D by mail situations where we have a packet and we mail it to each other.
Might need to.
Simplify the interactions a little bit.
Hey,
I think I heard Elliot.
Could have been Simon.
See if that.
it helped.
For like 1 second.
I think
I
he's
think
probably
he's like-
disconnecting and reconnecting.
Well, he's not coming through poorly anymore. I will say it's not a bad connection.
Now we're getting purple dots.
Hey,
Oh, dang it. Froze.
that,
Oh.
that.
Oh. I wonder what Twitch looks like right now.
Not pretty.
It's just me.
That is
Not pretty.
Just a couple of weird beards in their rooms.
Just
Trying to
a-
pretend.
Just a couple of guys in hoodies with glasses and beards.
Trying to pretend things.
I'm also in a hoodie with glasses and a beard.
And Pat, I have no idea what you look like. No idea. You could look like Timothy McVeigh, and I would
Kind of
have
a
no
formless
idea.
blob.
Formless blob.
Yeah,
Now-
Patrick, I've definitely given you the face of somebody that I knew for a couple of years here in Providence.
Matt
Did
likes
you
to
like
keep
them?
Matt likes to keep faces
Yeah.
of people he used to
He
know
works
in his
in 'em.
basement. He's got a lot of them lying
He was a
around.
cool guy, very similar voice to yours.
Ah. That is my identifying characteristic when I don't have a camera
It's-
turned on.
It's going to be very weird if I ever see you and you don't
Mm-hmm.
look just like him. I'm going to freak out.
My hair is a deep ginger red.
Nope, you're a brunette in my mind.
That's also not correct.
Already,
I-
first characteristic, I'm already off.
I look like my my mascot from the Pragley days.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Pragley shut down. Did you all see that?
Back in the
Uh-uh.
Progley days. No, I did
Really?
not. Well, I guess we
I'll
got
never
out just in
win
time.
the aardvark race.
Either that or we hurt their feelings so badly when we left that they just shut it down.
They must have been having some serious problems because they changed their name first too. They changed to Pesto,
Pesto.
and then like within 6 months of that, they announced they were shutting down.
Well, so they definitely grew a lot at the beginning of the pandemic, and then as that started all winding down a little bit, they probably bottom dropped out. You know.
Yeah.
Like my pants.
You should get new pants.
It's called a kilt, Dwight.
Uh-oh.
Toot hard enough,
Everybody-
anything's a kill.
I'm sorry, Sir Robert. We're still not getting moving picture or sound.
Are we streaming through Riverside?
Yes.
All right. I was wondering if I forgot you had said it before. I was thinking if we were doing OBS, we could just try
If
Google
you
Chat
have
or something.
OBS set up at your end, we can do it. I don't have it set up here.
I don't remember if I have it set up for the channel or not.
But actually, you're coming through pretty good right now.
Okay, well, let's give it a whirl. I'll try again. Okay, so the last thing was you were asking.
I was asking you a question, which is if it seems
Right.
does it seem like we have gotten we probably well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't know this because I've never been to the headwaters, and the dragon will not tell me or even tell me whether he knows or not how big the forces opposing us are. None of these
He has-
extremely powerful entities seem to have any clue about the most important information that we need. Even though
Neither
I've
of
asked
them-
over and over.
You know, okay, are you listening to me at all?
Yeah.
Okay, both of them have told you that they haven't been there and don't know what's there.
That's fair.
They would die if they went there. They have told you. The coven's too strong for them. They can't take them alone. Probably couldn't take them together, but with the big resistance, they're able to. But they do not know what's there, and does not dare to approach too close for fear of his one ring being left alone. He a treacherous thing for them because of the covenant.
For us all.
So
We take the socks and various garments of these people who have made their clothes filthy and
destroy magic, and we hide them out in the woods.
woods in a circle around the city so there's a zone of no magic, and then we put old what's his head on the dragon and fly away, and then we just fight whatever comes out of the woods in 2 days. 2 days, not 6.
2, and we beat him.
And maybe the dragon comes back and helps us.
Okay, and
After he
to answer
drops-
Matt's question before, sorry to interrupt, just real quickly, your intuition, You fought onslaught of half undead, half beasts. Had it been just Garatone, you would have fought just undead. So you're guessing, pulled in resources from elsewhere.
And could you guys remind me, did we see if like zombies could stay alive near Zevek?
Can my undead
Yes.
be alive near him? So yeah.
Yes.
But you
So it's
could
like once the magic
Control them.
And I have a question, because the trees are still sentient and the zombies are still zombieing. I take it I still have familiar.
Your familiar is not there.
Is not there.
Is not around you. You don't sense any connection.
Did it disappear? Because I mean, it's a physical bat. Did it like fly away at one point and I just haven't seen or heard from it?
You don't see it anywhere around.
Okay.
Maybe something happened when you fell.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. Do I know how long it's been since I've seen or heard anything from it?
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, by the way, I'm not coming up with these various things capriciously. It's after many hours of reading about certain kinds of mechanics and things. So.
Okay, that's a 12.
You're not 100% sure, but it's been like a day or so. That's the granularity you have. You were really surprised by all the crazy chaos going on. You don't think you've specifically seen it in the past day or so.
Okay, I try to summon it actively and see what happens.
It does not summon.
Okay.
So there are two proposals on the table. There's the original Diamondback proposal, which is to leave ASAP, try to skirt around the approaching army and attack the headwaters directly. And then there's the Belvari proposal, which is to seek out and attack the approaching army and try to use Zevek as a way to disable their magic. Is that right?
And there are some variations in the Diamondback plan, like the Talib proposal, to go towards the Oravan and split off around the river, which is the same gist, but it's a particular subset. The Diamondback original one was to go north and avoid the oncoming army, just for what it's worth.
Bavari, are you proposing that we try and meet them in the woods and engage them there?
No.
Here at the city.
His proposal was surround the city with some of the stuff from Zevek's place so that they have no magic as they attack, and then just try to win that way.
In the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there's people on the walls firing firebolts and us
In theory.
actually being able to use our magic
And a dragon possibly flying back and forth.
Interesting.
attacking them from the sky.
That sounds like a good idea, but then we'd lose the surprise that Sebek would have. Like, okay, so
Yeah.
that's a really good idea for defense. That would really trip them up. However, we're going for offense here.
Yeah.
If we want to catch the Coven with their pants down, mind the expression, we want to make sure that they do not
Mind the expression.
mind the expression.
Everybody goes to the bathroom, my man. It's okay.
If we want to catch the Coven off guard, we need to make sure that they don't know about
Yeah.
Sebek until the very last moment. Because if the Coven is like if the coven are like witch covens, of which I have heard from various stories and such, they're going to be almost entirely magic. So if we get rid of all of their magic, they're probably just going to be a ton of really old women. Which nothing against old women. It's just not the strongest contenders.
Push him over.
Real quickly.
Only
Matt,
like 1% of
strong.
Navy SEALs are old women. Okay.
They're incredibly strong.
They're incredibly strong, says Matt. Just to bring to your minds, while you all went to the party of 4 who stayed there went to the hole to look for the others, Garriott held off about 16 Iron Bell. Y'all had originally killed 4 or 5. Garriott held off about 12, I think. I can't remember how many he said, but about a dozen Iron Bell. He came back. The next onslaught came, and it had about 30 Iron Bell, but they were controlling several hundred undead and animals. If the pattern keeps, they'll come back with, just telling you where we are, somewhere between 50 to 100 Iron Bell. You don't know for sure, and they may have very, very large numbers of beasts and undead. I'm only saying that's what your characters are already expecting. That doesn't mean it's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
You don't know what the upper limit of that is if the Iron Bell are controlling animals, because each one was controlling certainly more than one.
Tal is right. We need to attack. Let's go tonight.
Inkatink makes the sound of a shofar blast, I guess.
Awesome. Yeah, I also am inclined. Let's not fight here, even if success against this army is best in a magicless defended city. That's a temporary stopgap until the Coven build up new troops. And we had a plan to attack the Coven. Do that.
If anything, the chance of attacking the Coven that are almost entirely magic based, or presumably, is much greater and higher chance with Sebek than attacking the troops in Bell with Sebek instead. So it's just a better idea to attack the Coven. And I think we should just make a beeline, not a beeline, but a curve around the First Army to the south to get all the sick and wounded and elderly and children to the Oravan place. And then once that's done, we will be able to bring the main group of fighting force over to the headwaters and then be able to take out or re-garden educate the Coven.
Do you think if we took you as
The
far as the
problem is
river,
at this point, the army is going to get to the city. It's going to turn around, and it's going to be right behind us when we get to the Coven.
If we delay.
Well, it's agreed then. We'll go now. Talid, Diamondback, which direction are we going? Are you two agreed?
I believe so, south.
Yoshka looks at Diamondback.
Diamondback says, we will follow the main group at a sufficient distance to keep our magic continuing to work.
Okay. And Diamondback, will you go first or behind?
I think behind.
Okay. Well, no, you must go ahead. Zevek leaves a trail.
Indeed. Go ahead.
Everyone, perhaps.
Parallel.
Yes. Zevek can bring up the rear, and
We must have strong forces in the front to meet anyone we come across.
Yes, this is a good plan.
The dragon kind of nods slowly in assent, and
I also confer with my lady.
yeah, she's she assents and indicates to you that she's super uncomfortable at this moment. She feels exposed.
I reassure her that we will go ahead of the main group, and she will not be this close to Zevik for very long, and they will be pretty slow. The main group will be slower, so it won't be hard to stay ahead of them.
She's ready.
Well, I suppose we should front.
Who?
Perhaps with the what are their names? The hunters from Garatone who led us here.
The
They could kind
Saracon,
of navigate.
Lambo and
Teco
Teco.
and-
Yeah.
And real quickly, when you say we should go in front, you mean who?
Just like the PCs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I suppose we could, like, if we're going kind of in a blob, we could kind of spread out around and holler if we're big numbers, like, and there's able and willing bodies behind us, we can all pretty quickly gather and take care of any zombies we might, or skeletons.
Okay.
There actually are enough of us that we might even be able to keep maintaining a bucket brigade line where you've got folks that are spread apart, shouting distance from one another. I don't know. That's pretty awkward.
200 people isn't even in a
That's
forest.
true.
Let's see. That would be, if it was a grid, what would it be? 40 by, no,
You've got about 350.
10 by
people
20.
total, right?
So that would be like 15 by 20. If it was like a grid, is that right? Good math?
Yeah. Multiply by 6 is about how much, when you have people walking next to each other, you get about 6 feet from person to person. If, close to each other. And that's how big a swath you're cutting. Ballpark. If you go shoulder to shoulder.
Okay, so that would be like 225 feet wide. If it's 15 people wide, and then
You got about 20 rows.
120 feet long.
It's a big square. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, but the shape won't really matter. We've just got to. We're going to split the party, and some of us are going to be traveling a good ways behind. So whatever shape you guys are in, whatever shape we're in, we're going to be split apart by what 15, 20, 30 minutes of travel, right?
The people with the clothes that suppress magic need to be with Zevik and not with everybody else.
Yeah.
Because they will suppress the magic of everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we want as we're traveling through treacherous and dangerous woods.
So I suppose Yoshka will talk to all the leaders of the camp and just try to form everybody up so that we're in a decent formation with our like PCs in the front, able bodies kind of around this perimeter, Zevik in the back, and then our like grandmothers and children in the middle. Telling them a plan and explaining that like with Zevik we can travel into the night, and it's going to be 2 watches into the night. Does that make sense? And then take 4 hours of sleep at night and leave it on.
Yeah, sounds good.
We should pair some of the buff grandmothers with some of the frail grandmothers, though.
I suppose Yoshka will try to be persuasive to help them feel like it's a great idea.
Okay, roll it.
Do a bit of jazzercise.
Okay, 20
Everybody's on board with different preferences about where they should be. There are a number of people who are interested in having, not being in the on the edges and things like that.
Yeah.
But everybody's agreeable.
I want them to be comfortable where they are, so
Yeah.
I would take a little, 5 or 10 minutes for line us up and make, and see if there's any gaps. Comfortable where they are.
Yeah. You get a good arrangement. It is, they're all totally on board with all the gusto that one's survival, needfulness for survival entails.
Okay.
You see Diamondback being helped along with an acolyte under each arm, almost unable to walk on his own.
Oh yeah. Diamondback's all weak from having died.
Oh yeah.
Go.
Yeah. If you do so, and just last, I don't want to. Okay, we're committed to going. No take backsies. But how long are you marching before you try to go to sleep?
I told them we would march 2 watches into the night.
About 8 hours.
So we could sleep the last.
Or 2
hours.
watches. Yeah. Okay.
I suppose that's part of what I was persuade them was a great idea.
Okay.
Explain the timing of it.
And so you start marching. Lambrel and Teco, who know this area better than anybody, they were the ones who hunt here. Excuse me. Lambrel and Teco, and Teco was always accompanied by Adina. They take the front, the vanguard with you guys. They are walking, and behind y'all, coming in the formation you've arranged, are different. With you have Sevek at the very back, right?
Yeah.
And where do y'all want the dragon in this, and where do you want Arasanala? Diamondback, where's Arasanala?
She's going to be in the front.
Ahead of. Okay, if she's in the front with all of the party, there's no magic there because.
I'm sorry, I thought that the arrangement was that my party
There's
would go
2
first.
parties.
Yeah.
My party would
There's
go
a-
first.
Magic
Okay.
party and a not magic
Great.
party.
So. And
Oh wait, but I was planning to go through the night and to be able to travel and see with torchlight. It to be within the non-magic.
torches work at night, just not during the false night. Blackness. This is regular.
Oh, okay.
This is work fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
So that sounds good. Diamondback, I'm gonna. Y'all have arranged a signal when you're ready for them to start walking, and the signal works. You guys march, with the litter and Arasanala and your acolytes.
Wait, so maybe we should we have Zevik trail behind so that our whole group has magic?
Yes.
That's how we're doing it.
That's
It's
what you
almost
said.
as if
Okay.
when you said we've agreed, we hadn't agreed yet.
All right. So, Diamondback, and real quickly, who's in your cohort? You've got 11 acolytes.
11 acolytes, a Arasanala. I think,
And you.
and
Probably
and me,
Lambrel, but not
I think Ikitink as well.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
I
And
think
Toll said he's going with you.
I would like to ask the dragon to come up front with us,
He's happy to do that.
just to break new ground, because we're probably going to encounter any dangers first. And also, I have. I actually forget what happened to my skeletons. I locked them in the basement.
You're in the basement.
They were
Well, can I
voted.
get them before we go?
Sure. I'll retcon that they come up here.
Okay. And I also, so I have.
You don't seem to be able to command them, but they do not.
Okay, so I've got them on leashes.
If you want.
When we get out of the, okay, sure. I guess we'll find out whether okay, they're cool. They're on leashes.
Yeah. When you get far enough away, yes, you can command them.
Okay, great. I'll probably have to cast my spell on them again.
Yeah.
I don't know when would be appropriate, but before Diamondback and the rest of his group splits off from the main group, I want to talk to him, his character.
Okay. Let me narrate us going. You can walk ahead to their group and talk with him. The dragon is not quiet, even when he tries to be. He's not like super loud if he's trying to be quiet, but he's got like disadvantage on stealth, let's say. But he's just to give you a sense of the kind, he's a long, skinny dragon. Remember, he coiled around and around you guys in that little hut, right? So he's not like a European style fat lizard with wings. He's like a long, skinny dragon with lots of legs and some wings.
And
so you start marching. Sorry,
one last thing is that when last I narrated Arasanala, she was in a like palanquin being carried by acolytes. That's probably
right.
not the most convenient way to go. I'm going to ask her if she will maybe walk herself and be willing to show herself to the acolytes and Inkatink and the others with us. Obviously, completely abasing myself and being super polite about it, but like it would be easier if you walked yourself and you can stay hidden.
Yeah. So 2 things. One is when you're far enough away, your staff seems to work.
Awesome.
In that condition, you don't have the exhaustion, right?
It's up to you.
Say it again.
Did you just say in that condition I don't have exhaustion?
You have the serpent's body, not yours. Right? That's the rule.
Okay, yeah, but what I'm asking is whether.
No, I heard about the Arasanala part. I just wanted to remind you of that. Yeah.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah, Arasanala is inclined to grant you that wish, but she covers herself with clothing. You know, she's frequently shown herself to you in regalia, and she has it here. So she, you know, she's sort of. They see her shape, but not her person.
So I think
Yoshka offers you his old pants.
We've got
They smell good.
Okay.
We've got some kind of a cart as well that we're pulling some supplies in.
Sure. So that sounds great. So,
I don't think we have donkeys or anything.
Yeah, y'all have to have days worth of food here. I mean, y'all are prepared. So, Diamondback, you and your cohort, which is going to be Diamondback, Inkatink, Toll, Arasanala, and the dragon, your acolytes, the set of you are going in advance of everybody.
Belvari also.
Say it again.
Belvari also.
I'm sorry, one more time. Right.
Belvari also.
Belvari also. Okay, great. Your audio is just cutting in and out a little bit or something. Okay. So, great. Y'all go ahead. After about half an hour of walking, ballpark 20, 30 minutes, you notice that as you've been trying, the flames return to your shoulders, Diamondback, and you play it safe and walk for another 15, 20 minutes before giving the signal, which ends up working. And to the best of your ability to tell, maybe you can send somebody back to check. But so let's say, I'm just going to make this up and tell me if there's any huge objection, but don't have any objections. When you get far enough, you send Inkatink back. He tells the party to go, and then he comes and catches back up to you, giving you enough of a gap that you believe that you're, got a good buffer between you.
Can Talon go with Inkatink?
Talon returns with Inkatink to talk with Diamondback on the way. Now,
Inkatink carries Talon on his back.
Hold on.
Suppressing all of the magic.
Say it again, Josh.
I said Inkatink
Suppressing all
throws
of the magic.
Inkatink throws Talid on his back and runs Luke and Yoda style through the swamps. He's got advantage on athletics checks, so he's just going to carry him.
Okay. Inkatink's going to try to carry Talid on his back. Inkatink being like 5 feet tall.
He's incredibly strong. You have no idea how strong he is for his size.
Have an inclination.
At least 11 for strength.
That's right.
It's actually a 16.
I misspoke. Yeah, that's somewhat strong. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of moving forward without delay, so y'all get going. The rest of the party, do you need me to read that? Goes, oh, yeah. So Talid, you join Inkatink to come up to talk to Diamondback. As you get close to Diamondback, hey, Diamondback, or whatever. Arasanala makes a sort of hit at you, Diamondback. And you also, if you're not, let's say you're not yet traveling in snake form, I guess. You also notice that the flames have died down as Talon approaches. Go, have your conversation.
Diamondback, I have been meaning to talk to you about the Oravan. I was wondering, with your permission, of course, maybe it would be best if I take roughly 4 acolytes with me when we actually do go to the Oravan to establish a ritual circle of sorts. I don't exactly know what to do, but something of the sort over there went to prepare for your arrival, perhaps as a secondary base of operations.
Have I heard anything about me going to Oravan?
There was a brief discussion that if you had your acolytes, this is from last session.
Yeah.
Right at the end, if you had your acolytes help Talid, because he didn't think he could take all of the Oravan by himself, but with some help he could, but they have no magic and whatever.
And by
that the Snake Clan could something like use a part of the Oravan place as a secondary base. That was the conversation last time. And this time, Yoshka has indicated that the Menowin are interested also in contributing to that cause.
And in addition to that, Talon still wants to convert part of it into a secondary base for the Snake Clan.
So Talid,
yeah,
you are not a member of the Snake Clan. We have many secrets. Have you searched for these 4 volunteers that you wish from among the able-bodied townspeople?
I was assuming that.
Not hearing anything.
I can't. We're not hearing anything from Sir Robert's side.
The clergy.
Sorry, we're not.
Man, they're having some issues tonight.
Hey,
All
did
right.
you get the trees to come with us?
Yeah.
So, Diamondback, I had thought that because I am very new to the Snake Clan, some more experienced members will be able to.
Can y'all hear anything?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear this now.
Great.
Okay, great.
So some more experienced members will help set up religious circles and rites and runes and what have you, really.
I say to him, the Snake Clan is a big commitment, Talid. you may not. There are advantages such as eternal life, maybe, but it is demanding. Yeah, I'm going to roll a wisdom check to see how good Diamondback is about imagining how things will look from another person's perspective.
That's optimistic of you.
Yeah, Diamondback, I just rolled a 17.
Nice.
Plus my wisdom is 2. So I'll say that Diamondback does say, given your previous involvement with the occult, you may find the practices of the Snake Clan disturbing. Tell me, how do you feel about necromancy in general?
Well, so long as the skeletons agree, and he's going to laugh a little bit.
Do you understand that these skeletons were made from the bodies of my fallen enemies?
I'll be frank with you, Diamondback. One of the main reasons that I want that I'm even a part of the Snake Clan is to bring my sister back. So, if you're willing, I'd like to take some of the friends back, for some of your acolytes to the Oravan to try and bring her back.
I say to him, very well. Strip off all of your clothes and come with me. I'm not bringing him to Arasanala with a bunch of anti-magic clothing and items on him.
Are you saying that as Diamondback? Because
yes, Diamondback is like, get rid of all of this anti-magic tainted stuff that you're wearing, because right now the fact that you are here is making like the central Arasanala, who is like the demigod that we worship, can't even be near you. Joining the Snake Clan is not going to work while you're an anti-magic totem.
Inkatink whips out a pair of black ritual silk boxers and hands them to Talon.
Talon's going to talk about, I don't really know if that'll be necessary. I can just take the 4 people with me and just keep going. And he's going to keep on rambling about this. Diamondback, you are going to receive a telepathic message from something very, very ancient. Basically, with a flash of just brilliant white, you see eyes. A lot of eyes. Just thousands of them everywhere. And in a deep, echoing voice, you hear, "Let my avatar have emissaries of the Corpse Queen." Just instantly, and back to Talon rambling about why he should not strip down to his underpants.
As DM, I need to jump in here and say, yeah, that happens.
And say those words one more time that were spoken.
All right, so Diamondback only sees 1,000 eyes, realistic eyes of all sorts of variations, and then the words appear in his mind, almost shouted, "Let my avatar have emissaries of the Corpse Queen."
Diamondback asks Talid to stay with Inkatink and to hang back a ways while he goes forward to talk with Arasanala alone.
Talid says, "Okay, should I keep my clothes on?"
You can keep them on for now, but if you come near Arasanala, you can't be wearing any of the things that are tainted with anti-magic.
Gotcha.
Inkatink looks profoundly disappointed.
So you're just going to stay and wait, like he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go up to the front where Arasanala is, and I say to her, I ask her if she. I describe Talad to her, and I ask her what she thinks of him. If she's presumably seen him at the meeting.
Yeah, she just considered him background rabble, one of the townsfolk or something.
I say, I describe the experience that I just had to her, and I ask her, does she know of any powerful supernatural or magical entity that has a relationship with this person that we should respect or fear in any way?
She has no idea what you're talking about. Like, this is not a thing she's really aware of.
Okay.
Nor why he would be special or anything. Y'all have been talking for a minute or so, and
you see another psychic image that is even more eyes talking yet again in a sort of harsher tone, saying, "Hurry your debates, emissary of the Corpse Queen."
I attempt internally in my mind to respond to the voice, saying, I am simply a messenger of my great white lady. Please, if you are a powerful entity, come and show yourself to her, and we will join forces against the Iron Bell.
Her phylactery prevents a connection, but with you I commune freely.
And then you get the distinct impression that there's no bridge anymore, no connection anymore.
Okay, I relate all of this to Arasanala. Yeah, and see what she says.
Yeah, I'm rolling for her responses here. She's deeply ambivalent about this. On the one hand, it's weird and foreign to what she knows about here, but on the other hand, almost everything right now is weird and foreign to her experience. She's been in a near stasis under that lake for a long time, and for like a month or two now, there's been this crazy flurry. There's all kinds of strange things happening. She just doesn't know what this is about, but she also this is really a strange time.
Yeah, so I hang back until Inkatink and Talad catch up with me again.
Okay.
And I say to Talad, if you have some powerful patron, demonstrate its power to me.
What? I don't. I mean, as far as I know, I just got the Arasanala, and you could be talking about like Oravan. They worship the weird demon-y guy, something eyes or something. I don't know.
You mean Cinderon?
No, not. I don't know, the thing with the magic barrels and stuff, eye monster, whatever. I don't exactly know what's going on about that, but the point. How did the conversation go about getting some people to help with a secondary base? How'd that go? And he's sort of looking on eagerly.
I would like to try and discern whether or not Talad is telling me the truth about these things. Mr. DM.
I'm going to talk with him because I don't know some of the detail of what's happening here. I know what he's using to do, or I know what the mechanical thing is, but I don't know the motivations. Give me a second.
What the devilly deuce is going on here?
Good thing we set out.
Nothing will slow your party down more than a door. Everybody knows that the narratively slowest obstacle to overcome is a door.
You're just surrounded by doors. It's doors all the way down.
That's what I've been trying to
Doors
say.
in every direction.
There's doors within doors.
Cat doors, even.
Doors everywhere, but not a handle to turn. It's a little albatross reference for you.
I understood.
What is
it. I
albatross?
just don't respect it.
Yeah, from the rhyme of the ancient mariner, I believe.
Okay, I'm back on. All right, I just had to clarify with that. Diamondback, you want an insight check to see whatever. Tell me what you're checking. Be specific.
Yes. So I just had what seemed to be a magical or supernatural experience.
Okay.
I asked a much more powerful wizard than I what it signified, and she hadn't experienced it, didn't know that it was anything, didn't sense any power greater than her around. I suspect that it may be an illusion of some kind, since she could not detect any like arcane or supernatural power associated with it. And so I asked him directly about it, and he told me that he didn't know.
All right, I don't remember, but remind me what you asked.
I said that I relate to Talid the experience with the eyes and the voice that I just had, and I asked him what he knows about it, and he said he doesn't know anything about it. He thinks something about barrels maybe, but he doesn't know what that was. So I want to know whether that's true, what he just told me.
Okay. Before that, Jacob is saying something. Go ahead.
So the Oravan, there's the scene in the Oravan where like Talid's sister's throat got slit. In that scene, there was some sort of eldritch monster thing. From my recollection, I'm not sure if it's like if that actually happened, but from what I remember, there was this like eldritch monster scene, that guy that came out of the barrel and then started like turning all of the people there into like cultist people.
So here's what happened there. That was claimed to be. I'm going to say this in terms of what everybody was saying it was. So this is what was presented. That was a sort of image of Cinderon, and tentacles, sort of tendrils of this black mist came out of the barrels into the various people who were drinking the liquid, right? Those tendrils kind of came up like tentacle type things, and went, as they drank it, went into them. That, I think, Lovecraftian eldritch image you had.
Yeah.
The creature really looked like sort of like a druid type. It had a hooded. It was all black, so it's the black mist, so it didn't have a lot of detail. But it had a hooded feature and was holding like a shepherd's crook and some animal handling equipment. But the creature was claimed to be Cinderon. The tentacly bits were coming out of the thing, but it didn't create some horror specific. It didn't create like a crazy image of anything else.
Okay, so that, as for an in-game response, Talid is going to say, I don't know. It's probably some random stupid thing about the Oravan. They're so weird with all their mischievous, that kind of cultish thing. And he's going to continue on rambling. You're going to receive a second message that's also from him that says, my avatar is a conduit of my power. He is the culmination of nigh infinite retrials the Oravan have sought to construct. Treat him with respect, and our treaty with the Corpse Queen will stand. Cut back to Talad rambling on again.
That happens while Talon's rambling on.
All in like a split second, but you all comprehend it.
Meaning Diamondback does.
Diamondback all comprehends it.
So Talad is telling me that he doesn't know what this phenomenon is.
Yeah.
And I would like to know whether I think that he's telling the truth or not.
Gotcha. Okay. Great. Thank you. I just had to roll insight.
$17.
Diamondback. Sorry, he was rolling, and I was from him what was happening. You're significantly suspicious, and you think he knows more than he's letting on.
I say, Talad, we're supposed to be allies.
We are? I'm pretty sure that's the deal that we made.
He's confirming, not asking.
Yeah.
You and I are in the same army right now. It's a loose warband with some form of loyalty to Yoshka or some arrangement of that kind. If you have some dark patron of great power, there is no treaty. There is no relationship with the Snake Clan. We have not negotiated any such thing yet. In order to start such negotiations, if you wish, please demonstrate the power of this patron.
Okay. I see. I don't. Are you talking about like the one with the man? What thing are you talking about? Can you describe it?
I already did. I described the vision of the eyes
Oh,
and the voice in my
Eyes
head.
and everything.
Okay. So yeah, that might be something with the Orban. I'm not sure. Let me think. Oh, it may be, and Talad is going to just sort of, his eyes are going to start to like pause in place, and he's just going to sort of start buckling over with pain. Another image. I think. Hold on one sec. You're going to receive another image that's just. It's the same eyes. It's a little bit fainter than before, and it says, "My will on this plane grows weak. He will recover, but please heed the voices of a dying god." And then Talad's going to again to Talad, still convulsing and screaming a bit, but he's very clearly just settled down and just goes, and he's gonna get back up and it's like, what? I don't know what happened. What? This is some weird stuff for a Snake Clan. I'm just gonna head back home, all right? And he's gonna start heading back towards the main group.
I advise you to gather your helpers from among the very competent townspeople.
Inkatink folds and puts away the black silk boxers and with a look of great disgust shakes his head disapprovingly.
Okay.
Mr. Dungeon Master,
Yeah.
I'm a level 6 wizard. I would like to try and figure out whether what I just saw was a religious thing. Was it actually a god?
Do it. Roll me a. I'm going to go, since you're relying on wizardic knowledge, I'm going to go with Arcana.
It's up to you. Not religion?
Oh, I forgot religion was an actual specific thing. Yeah, you can do a religion check.
Here goes. That is a 23 religion check.
Okay. Diamondbacks, this does not correspond to anything Diamondback has heard of. And it just seemed like not a widely practiced religion, if it is a religion. It's, it's something obscure. Check 2.
Okay. Eek, 6.
Okay. While all this has been happening, your magic fire has been suppressed. So it's not any kind of magic that you can tell.
Okay.
But you don't know, that's all you know about that. That said, it's not anything you've ever heard of. And you're you're very confident, like, yeah, this is not anything I've ever heard of. But also the Orvan are weird. So there's like a couple of factors at play.
They might be a secretive sect like the Snake Clan. Not many
Possibly
people know the Snake Clan's doctrines either.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we continue on our way. Talon
Okay.
does not get what he wants until his patron shows some actual power.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm going to do a couple of rolls here for the 8 hours that y'all are marching, including this first hour. That took some time to. All right. As this column of you is marching through, you are walking and you come across 2 undead animals. It is a moose and a deer. The moose obviously is as big as a moose. It's very big. The 2 of them are a little bit startled, but become aggressive, go towards your group, Snake Clan, Dragon, or Asanala. They are absolutely no match for you, for the amount of people there. Tell me how you want to handle that. They clearly had died and rotted at some point, and whatever happens in Garatone happens here, and they stood up again. I think you're muted.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I gesture to them to around my lady. Sort of like, if you would like to have fun with these things and play with them and do whatever you would like, please be my guest.
She waves her hand that they're of no interest to her.
Are they they're being aggressive towards us?
They're yes, aggressive towards you, but not like you're not in any meaningful risk. The set of you can easily take them down.
I mean, I'm not going to fight them unless they go to hurt somebody.
Okay.
Inkatink is already blasting firebolt at them.
They are dead.
Okay.
The other, the acolyte's helping Inkatink because he's right there. It doesn't take very long. You continue traveling. At one point, you come upon a set of 3 ghosts that are doing something in a clearing, and as you all approach, they vanish. The numbers here are small, right?
Ghosts are super scary, though.
Ghosts are pretty scary.
I'm glad they vanished.
Nothing happens the third hour. Nothing happens the fourth hour. Or the fifth hour. The sixth hour, Yoshka, where you're walking in the woods, a small horde of 6 lurching undead. They appear to be zombies, but with body parts missing, and the parts of the bodies that are missing seem to have spectral, like a limb is missing. It has a spectral limb coming out of it. It's the same kind of thing. It's like half ghost, half undead. Probably something like a spirit that has taken over a zombie as a temporary flesh. Same kind of thing that was fighting the unicorn when y'all were in front of the lake that time. There are 6 of them there and a couple hundred people. You can take them without much problem, or they're just kind of over off to the side there. You could put them down, or you could just ignore them and keep walking and attack them. Only do anything if you need to defend yourself. What do you do?
I would go to put them down. I suppose as we've been going, I've been identifying and talking with the people. Like, okay, getting on the same page for a general strategy. So the strategy we probably talked about is for the undead, which we can't scare away, try to just shoot range stuff at them.
Yeah.
Altogether.
And you have no problem with that. The 15 main men were equipped with, there were 15 captains of 10 in the main fight. They're each equipped with bows. They have those. They use them. Everything's fine. The next hour, a smaller set of just regular zombies, 3 or 4 zombies. You find the main mass of you, sees them off in the distance. Again, no major issue. That's 8 hours had passed with what a mere 2 months ago would have been terrifying encounters in this forest.
Yeah.
Fairly typical of the kinds of things you would encounter. You marching with a column of a dragon, a lich, their entourage, 300, an army 300 strong, and this one gardener seem to have no problem with them now.
And Yoshka's gonna, when he notices how easily, Yoshka's gonna play that up and I don't know if it's persuasion or what, but to everybody try to make sure it's encouraging everybody.
Yeah, roll a performance.
Or we sleep, we get a lullaby, a lot of our day's accomplishments.
10. One of my worst performances.
I rolled to see what their response was, how strongly they were encouraged out of just a straight D20. I rolled a 15, 16, 17, and 19. So at first, as soon as they saw zombies or whatever, in the crowd who was on that side were terrified. Y'all went out and made short work of them. Pretty soon they were thinking, we can totally handle this. We can really do this. Marching through, and they took on a huge couple of hundred Iron Bell. They're walking through the night and taking on whatever's there.
Yeah.
There's
So boring.
That's right. It's a 15. Their morale is out of 1 to 20. And then the next hour it grows to a 16, then a 17. It's now a 19. It's time for you to make camp. If you do that now, you will here can get a long rest by an hour or 2 into day tomorrow.
I had talked to everybody about going 2 watches and then sleeping 1 watch.
Yeah, that's fine too. It was about 2 hours ish before dark.
Uh-huh.
So if you go 2 watches in, unless you want 2 hour watches of night, but if you go 2 watches in, that takes you to 2 hours after dark, then 6 hours. You've got 6 more hours of dark, and 2 more hours of morning would give you a long rest.
I see.
Let's do it so.
Okay. Yeah, then we can
Diamondback
keep
gets his body
watching.
back and Inkatane gets health.
Okay.
So you do that. Y'all camp camps spread out. Diamondback, the dragon is amenable to staying up with your group. And Sebek, who has had more or less a really pleasant walk in the forest. It's kind of a weird forest, but he's happy for it. He's been behind everybody, just kind of talking with whoever happens to trail back and talk to him. Neno, maybe you do. He's having a great time on all the unusual flora and that. So he is happy to stand guard for y'all have here. With anybody else who wants to. He just volunteers.
I suppose I would coordinate. I mean, if we're fairly big, at least like 3 people take each watch.
Sure.
I'll take first watch with him.
I'm gonna check some things here. In the night, whoops. All right. So there are 2 major encounters in the night as y'all do this. And actually, let me roll to see which party. Odds are going to be Diamondback. Evens are going to be.
So, Robert, just before we get into the encounter, I had 1 third-level spell slot remaining. So before I went to sleep, I used that to animate 2 skeletons, which are going to march around us in circles and alert anybody if there's any danger.
Sounds good. Odds is Diamondback. Evens is the main party. So the first one is odds for Diamondback's group. The second one is odds also for Diamondback's group. Diamondback, as y'all are there, and the dragon, who has slept quite a lot. Sorry, Dwight, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That message was from a little bit ago. Okay, sorry. So the dragon, who is there, also volunteers to, keep watch and help with that. In the night, 2 important things happen. One is that 2 events happen. One is that in the distance, you hear the running of what sounds like a significant number of animals, significant 10, 20 animals running through the darkness. This is up near group. You are awakened, Diamondback, by your people, your skeletons, whatever, who are listening and following your simple order. They awaken you. You can hear what appears to sound, it seems like 10 or 20 creatures, like deer maybe, or horses, or something like 4-legged types of creatures running. They run by you at a distance that you're guessing is maybe 100 feet off in the woods at an angle to you. You don't hear anything else about that. That's just an event that happened in the night. The other one is that let me see. Let me roll this one. All right. Did y'all take the palanquin with you? Or leave it in the town?
We probably ditched it because we're
I
traveling.
think we ditched it. We have some stuff in the cart, but I think we probably ditched that.
So it's this then. Arasanala. Sorry, I gotta look up the name here. Diamondback. Arasanala may provide shelter, but not shelter for the rest of you. And she indicated that if your skeletons are standing guard, you should probably be out there with the acolytes and doing whatever, your Snake Clan stuff. Not in the dismissive of them, but she's just telling you, like, she doesn't need your help. She's taking care of herself. right? And she.
Give me my lady space.
That's right.
Oh gosh.
Hold on one sec. Here is what you all see, and none of you have ever seen this before. And I will tell you in one sec. How do I call this? Here we go. Okay. The dragon is very comfortable. He sleeps out. He stands watch out. He's just laying there, not concerned about any physical thing that would come. But she, sorry, D&D Beyond is taking a long time to load. Here we go. Oh my gosh, it's taking a long time to load. I may just say it from memory if I can't get it really fast. Okay, I will do it from memory. She casts a spell, and she's completely covered. Night has fallen. It's nighttime, and she casts a spell, and in front of her, just there's a piece of stone that she's casting it on, like just a small boulder, 3 or 4 feet tall. But the boulder begins to unfold several times, and it becomes a 10-foot structure made of solid stone with no apparent opening, which she then, keeping covered, doesn't say anything to anyone except calls you over Diamondback and says, basically tells you, you should stay out here with them and keep them safe. I'll be doing some things in there. She just goes, as she approaches, the stone seems to just open for her and then close behind her, and she is in a 10-foot cube of stone. And then it just sits there, being a big 10-foot cube of stone. At some point in the night, Diamondback, you get a message from there, and she tells you to come. She says, "Come in."
I approach the 10-foot cube of stone.
And you see a small opening in front of you, where you can walk in. It's where she was. And you go inside. Yeah, it's basically a hut. It's not super fancy, but it seems from the inside to be completely sealed, and it's not super, but it's for as thick as the wall seemed when you passed through, maybe 6 or 8 feet thick on a 10-foot cube. You've got a good 15 feet on a side inside there. And so she's got a space that's not quite fitting correctly in what you experienced from the outside. She has a set of implements and tools there. And she tells you she's been doing some experiments. And she wants to show you this. She's not quite ready yet, but the main experiment she wanted to show you was that she made the blackstone, the black, whatever name for it, the blackstone is super hard to work with. You know this too already. It's very resistant. She tells you that when the city that y'all live in was first built, it was obviously wrought, like they worked with it to make the big city, right? She was not a builder of such things. She did other magics, but with her experiments that she's been doing in here, she has made, and she holds out for you what appears to be a small looking shape of black stone, right? She holds it out and shows it to you, and you fiddle with it. It's completely solid, smooth, sealed, one piece of just black egg. And she casts a spell. You don't know what the spell is. You don't understand what she's doing. What you are able to tell is that it's far past your immediate ability to cast. Like she's done something. And the egg, the top of the egg, the top half of it, I say egg, but it's eggish, starts spinning, and it kind of seems to unscrew, even though it was a seamless hole, and comes open, and it's completely hollow on the inside. And she closes it back and tells you, I'm not certain yet, but I think I made this the same way I made my sanctum. Well, she says it with her voice. I made this the same way I made my sanctum. I think inside the magic survives, even around the strange one. That's what she's got so far. And then she tells you can go back out. She wants you to keep an eye out for an opportunity, see if you can figure out a way that y'all can test that. It's obviously very small. It's the size of an egg. But she's trying to figure out how to do these things. Okay, that's the other thing that happens that night. You all get up. It is daytime. Everybody has had a long rest. Diamondback, even with the 2 interruptions, you get a long rest.
And my recent death penalty is now -3 instead of -4 because I got a long rest.
Great. You want to start marching again?
Yeah.
I'm going to gloss over the individual encounters, but you have a number of such encounters here and there. As always, you have fewer during the day than at night. That's for walking around. Nighttime is when things abound more in the woods. But none of the encounters are terribly difficult for you. You march through the day, and now you've been going for about 16-ish hours of total walking. That's going to give me a second here. Sleep, 8. That's the 16. That puts you at it's early afternoon now. Your best guess, based on triangulating how y'all came from Oravan, y'all been heading almost due south. Based on how you came how you came from Oravan and then to Saracon and then Saracon to the lake, your best guess is that you're about 6-ish hours of marching from the river between Cinderon and you did 16, about 10 hours from the river. You'll recall that the river, that was where y'all jumped off and jumped into the river, that the river was about a 20-minute run, so an hour maybe, from Oravan itself, from the actual cave entrances, if you're coming at it pretty close to it, which you think you are. So 10 more hours of walking. Y'all think you'll be at the river.
Cool.
You want to keep going, sleep some?
Yeah. I suppose. If we 10 hours leave us, it's like mid-afternoon. So that would be past midnight. We could get to the river.
Yeah. If you walked for a little bit, slept for 8 hours, walked for a little bit, get an 8-hour rest in there, mid-morning you'd arrive at the river.
We'll need to develop a plan to get across the river, and it might be better to arrive at Oravan Land.
Do you want to attack at night or in the day?
I'm not actually. I think there might not be a difference. Perhaps it'd be safe to go in the night if it would be safer to attack in the night, but it would not be safer for the people to stay up there in the above at night. So I think for the good of the people, it would be better to attack at day.
Point of order. I thought I remembered, since I was listening to it somewhat recently, that they did observe something like
They
that.
have a wake sleep cycle that's roughly the same lengths as the day and night above.
Okay.
Whether it exactly corresponds, who knows? There is not there's no natural light the canopy or anything down there. It's all from the sconces that are around.
What is your plan? Will you slip in while they're sleeping?
Yes, the plan is to sneak in while they're sleeping, execute the leaders, and then while the rest of the town is running amok from lack of leadership, we go in and just very, very surgically and very, very cleanly and quietly just start picking off people wherever we can, stragglers from the group, the people that don't know what they're doing. We just take them out and just keep them out of the game. Eventually, there'll be about 12 people left around that don't know what they're doing. They'll get back into a group. Then there will be an actual fight. Then, once that's done, we'll have the entire place to ourselves.
And what about the children? Well, you didn't know, did you? About Simneron.
Until your coming of age ceremony,
yes,
you were relatively innocent of all that.
Well, will we adopt them?
Yes, the plan is that they will be they will be taken care of. I will make sure that anyone unaware of the crimes of Simderon and my uncle will be very much taken care of.
Okay.
In the non-fatalistic way, taken care of.
When you were a child, if someone had come, an army had come and killed all of your adults, would you be able to have been melded into that army's community? Your dying breath.
She's trying to find out Oravan culture. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to help him decide if he needs to kill all the children.
I'm not going to actually. Yeah. So, if I were a child, and I learned that I was a child, and I learned from the murder of my sister that my home was not with worshippers of evil. I will give all the children a decision. Either they identify that and see that what their parents did was pure evil and that they should repent from that, or they can leave. I will kill no children.
I have a.
Yeah.
I'm not normally. I don't interject with like ideas for you. And so take this as me telling Jacob, not something that I think you should do or anything like that. But remember, the main force you're going with is the Menowin. Who, if you weren't there, it could be seen as the Menowin. During the Oravan, and if you arrive late in that game, they know you. The people know you. You've been gone for a few months.
Yes.
Yeah.
They know me as the person that escaped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So if I go
These
in,
are all people you know.
These are your
you
cousins.
know them all.
They're all literally your family.
Yeah.
second cousins, first cousins.
So I guess it would be easier for them to accept that like their cousin who is just a random murdery guy apparently killed all of the parents, and then the Oravan come in, oh no, what happened? Oh, we'll take care of you. That'll be easier for them to accept.
Who's the Orvan?
Not the
Menowin.
The Menowin, yeah. That'll be easier for them to accept as parents. So yeah, that'll work.
I was suggesting a slightly different thing.
Could you be?
Yeah, I'll just tell you what I was
Yeah.
suggesting, and this is only because I'm seeing a different perspective, and there's whatever. I was suggesting, and you, Jared, would have to chime in on this too, that you could send the Menowin in to do all the killing. They have a reason for vengeance.
Oh yeah.
And you could arrive as the hero caretaker.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I don't have any idea. It just occurred to me. I don't have any idea what the Menowin would think of that. I do know that there's a grudge. There could be a grudge there if they're not.
Do you think you can pass the deception check against your own traumatized family?
But you're surely the best sneaky stabber.
What'd you say, Matt?
I am very good at sneaking and stabbing.
That's true. He is actually very good at sneaking.
You could borrow my old hat.
Yeah. I could go in like disguise.
Yeah.
Matt, what were you saying?
I do have like startlingly good infiltration stuffs. But that's not the point.
Let me hear what Matt's saying real quickly.
Yeah.
Matt, the player is saying, do you think that your character can pass the deception check against your a whole group of traumatized family members?
No. But maybe persuasion. I've got a +8 in that.
Well,
So
if you're going
what's
to
your
lie to them, it's not going to be a persuasion check.
Yeah.
my stealth is +8.
Okay.
My persuasion it's only +6.
Well, if it's a lie, it's not persuasion that you use.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can tell the truth and be like, they're horrible.
Yeah. I could.
I'm saving you.
And bringing you a whole new community of people.
Also, just putting this out there for future reference, devil's advocate, we could also just kill all the children. I'm not saying we should do that,
Really?
but that is a possibility, just like absolute hypothetical. That being said, we should not kill all the children. So I think what the plan is in character. Okay, Yoshka, how about let's discuss with the Menowins how they feel about after I go in and take care of some more personal business that I have with some of the members of the Oravan. Let's see how the Menowin feel about going in and just taking out everyone taking out everyone that needs to be taken out to make the underground area safe. That's all we need to know. We need right now, just making the underground safe for the people in the ground.
Okay. I think they would do that. Perhaps you could draw a little map for them and a strategy, since few of them have been in, but that sounds good. Perhaps the decision we need to make next is when and where shall we sleep so that you can arrive there and while the Oravan is sleeping.
Expect that this operation, you're going to have to go there, you and probably the infirm, you have to cross the river. It's going to take you a day to get this all executed and taken care of well. Which you can, if y'all are going to wait, y'all can do, but I think y'all are going to go on. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. So yeah, you make up a plan as y'all are marching. He can talk it over with the Menowin and get that sorted out. Can I light over that? Is that good for you? Okay.
Yeah.
You have your long rest. It is now mid-morning the next day. You've arrived at the river. The set of you all get there.
As we part, I suppose I'll be like, if you leave through the portal, leave us a message.
Mhm.
I will come and look for you if we survive.
All right.
Saying like, I'll come to the caves if you're there, but if you go through the portal.
Okay. Thank you.
Does Sevik know the plan?
No, he doesn't need to know the plan.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's supposed to walk around and talk
He's
to people.
I don't think he.
object if he knows we're sending off.
That's why he doesn't know the plan.
He's in the back.
He's in the back.
You
Yeah.
just help him.
Yeah. He's just living his life. Why bother him with child murder?
Oh.
No children will be murdered. At least hopefully.
Neno's conscience is bothering her.
Can we retcon having Neno in the conversation then? Just as a
So-
personal favor.
Yeah, no, it's good.
No.
I am willing and able to be heard, to be hearing this, but also I have been spending a lot of time hovering at the back with Zedek.
And Aaron Joy's conscience is bothering Nana.
You know?
Um,
Although apparently not enough to
We'll save
stop.
We'll save a child
Suggesting we
for
should
you to
kill all the
take
children.
care of it. And we'll save a child for you to take care of Neno. It'll be fine.
That'll do.
so,
Reverse child sacrifice will keep you alive for the good of the group.
so this is where y'all split. Now, y'all will remember that the last time you crossed. Go ahead.
A real quick question. How long will they be walking past the river to get there?
What do you mean walking past the river to get there? From leaving the river to getting to there?
Yeah.
It's an hour-ish or more of walk. Right around. Y'all went under heavy pursuit for 20 minutes of a flat-out run to get there. So depending on the speed differences.
In that case,
Sorry, and you were at an optimal distance. You went straight to the river. You're arriving at some place that's not directly there.
Diamondback is going to go up to Talon and he's going to say, before they split up, he's going to say, "Oh, this won't work. Well, I'll try it." I go up to Talon and I attempt to cast Mage Armor on him to try and help
And
him.
he is, and Talon.
Do I get major armor?
Maybe one of you D&D people will know. Do you generally know if the spell you cast works? Do you have like a sense of it? Mage Armor is invisible.
It depends on why it's not working, I would usually say.
Okay.
Seems like if there's some visual element or
But I
felt.
mean, I think he would be able to tell if it was on him.
Yeah.
It's a protective magical force that surrounds him.
Okay. Then he does not seem to feel anything.
Okay. I say,
Is something wrong, Diamondback?
I tried to cast a spell on you that would assist you in the battle ahead, but it doesn't appear to have worked. I'm sorry.
Do I still? I don't think I still have my Sorry.
You're fully equipped
I thought I took that off for the Diamondbacks thing, like
for the tests.
For the test that Diamondback had. I didn't go through with them, but I still took them off when I got back.
When? You mean in the city?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I told Diamondback that I would go back there and take that off so that next time when I come back,
Take all your clothes and everything off?
Take all of the like supposedly anti-magical stuff off.
Okay.
So
I think you put them back on, right? Y'all put your clothes back on, or you tell me. Are you wearing the clothes? Wearing the clothes from like your more tattered clothes?
So I took off the clothes from the hole because Diamondback said that I had to take those clothes from the hole to do the tests. I didn't end up doing the tests that time, but I kept the clothes off so that if I go back to him again, I would still I would just be able to go with the clothes. I wouldn't have to do any of that finagling.
Hold on one sec.
Yeah.
Neno, what are you wearing?
Everything.
Yoshka, what are you wearing? What did you put back on to get ready?
My gardener hat and all.
Just your stuff.
My fineries.
Your now normal stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Talon, what did you put on?
Just probably some clothes from person, not the stuff from the hole. That's it.
Okay. So you're carrying your old stuff, not your good weapon, nothing from the hole.
Yeah.
Not your fancy dagger, not your.
Wait. Am I crossing the river? Are we crossing the river right now?
Sure, let's say.
Then yes.
You
I
could have
will-
left it with me or something.
Yeah.
while you were-
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say, just hypothetically, so this, if this clears it up, let's say you were stark, buck naked, taking a quick bath in the river so you could feel fresh.
Mhm.
When Diamondback comes up to you and casts Mage Armor, it didn't work.
All right. Good to know.
You dry off, wear your clothes. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Just
I just wanted to avoid ambiguity so that there was so we knew what was happening.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Diamondback. Matt, you're muted.
I'm sorry, Talad. I tried. If I could help, I would.
don't mention it. It'll be okay.
Okay. So the party splits. The rest of you guys, the dragon, remember that there were unpleasant beasts in the river. However, you have quite a few archers now in your party and people who can. So the 150 elderly, infirm, children, caretakers, the 35 Menowin and Talad are able to, because when you see a crocodile or something, the rest of you are standing on the shore like pew pew, and the crocodiles go away.
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
The numbers are really helpful here.
Yeah.
So now the rest of you are going to go upriver. You're going to make a basically left turn, go upriver. Is this going to be, it's mid-morning, use, take a bath, get clean, or you can do anything. Going to walk on the other side. Which side are you going to be on? The Cinderon side, the Garaton side, in the river? I don't know. What are you doing? And again, we're keeping separate by about half an hour, the two parties.
I always like the Cinderon side because you can scare away beasts, but you can't scare away zombies. With numbers like these, I think our chances are better.
Diamondback will go along with what Yoshka suggests.
Minna doesn't have a strong opinion.
Inkatink?
Inkatink is following the Snake Clan playbook.
Snake Clan playbook, okay. And Toll, Bavari?
Yeah, I'm with Yoshka.
Okay. So y'all cross, it takes you. Bavari, are you there? Same for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Problem. One thing is that you note that the river's a little lower than you expected. It's not a lot lower, but it's a little. And when it's time to cross, Sevek jumps in, and it's torso deep to cross. And man, does the water froth. It all around him, he's like in his own jacuzzi. Is like black misting around him, and he's like, wow, this is strange water, guys. He
Does
drinks
it
some
feel
and
good?
he burps a lot.
Does that feel good?
He thinks it tickles some. But you do definitely notice that is happening, and the water is flowing past him, and it's frothing on him, and immediately behind him, downriver of him, the water has to close back. It's hitting him and not flowing around him all the way.
All of the water isn't?
Not all of it, but
Okay.
a good chunk of it is like
Okay.
misting away as he's walking in. And he finally gets to the other side. He's like, ah, and everybody's staring at him because it's super weird. Like all the people are staring at him.
And he does not have to dry off.
Well, he's still wet. There's still
Okay.
water on him,
Okay.
but the water on him is no longer bubbling, and he is just like This is such a strange place, guys. And there's a little bit of bubbling water that washes downstream. To face nothing. So, just a couple more minutes, but you turn left. Talid continues on more or less in the direction he was going, perpendicular to the river. You guys are now traveling ahead.
I give you 2 wands of frost or wands of ice storm.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if these are slimed, but I think they could help.
Talad takes them appreciatively and starts like testing almost, starts like gnawing on the tip of one just to make sure that it's not going to explode.
And even if you can't use it, maybe some of the others with you could if they were far away.
Yeah.
Not super far, but however far they need to be.
And Nina would give some old lady in the crew one of her skirts to be bandages for you. Not for you, but for you to use.
Talad thanks you both for your very generous offerings for the battle ahead.
So you guys, the rest of you, head north with Diamondback's cadre. Half an hour, you start marching half an hour ahead. Then these others follow. This is closer to Diamondback's natural way. He lived on a part of the river that was super wide and flat, a kind of bayou, swampy area. So this riparian trek that y'all are doing now is the kind that Diamondback's used to. And a half hour distance, y'all are almost line of sight, the end of one. You can almost keep track of each other, just glimpses as you go around things. Because the trees don't grow in the water here. You start marching, and you march, you walk for several hours. It is early afternoon. You've had more. These are the trees you're familiar with. The dark, blue-green, mossy hues of Garatone you can see right across the river. But these are the green-yellow colors of Cimderon that y'all are used to, the ones that you grew up with. It is a brighter wood here. The ground is firmer, not that moist, kind of loamy ground. It's a firmer ground here. And you found a way to climb up. You'll remember that Cimderon had a cliff face, jumped into the water, whatever. Y'all found a good way to, and y'all are walking now a good, 50, 60 feet above the surface of the water below. It rolls a little bit, but for the few hours that you march, it stays higher than the Garatone side. You can almost Garatone. This is the sights and smells and sounds of birds, unlike the literally deathly quiet of the Garatone woods. This place is teeming with life, with chirping, with chittering of squirrels and chipmunks, with all manner of things. As you march north, as you would expect, there are almost no large animals here. They're not something that, the Iron Bell keeps a lid on that stuff. We're going to end tonight with a situational statement that you're marching north. Your best guess, you don't know for sure, but you're kind of thinking about where probably Sarah Khan was, where Oravan is. You're actually coming a little bit down where y'all jumped off. So you're going to pass that point. Your best guess early afternoon is that if you march this way, sleep a long rest, march again, you're 24 hours from the headwaters. Ballpark. You don't know exactly. And that's where we're going to end. The game is afoot.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Y'all can find out more about the storytelling and the Starfall Collective at starfallcollective.com if you are listening to this far enough into the future that is true.